Welcome back to Bull Sessions here on 680 KFEQ. You can email your questions or comments to bull@willcross.net. Once again, here's Randy Baker and agronomist Brad Law.
Brad, we're back here again on Bull Sessions, 680 KFEQ. We love this station. We love Miles. We love everybody here. Tell me, I want to tell you something else we love. We love young farmers.
Well, with all this love, there is one thing that I'm worried about, Randy.
What?
You telling how you love everybody?
I do.
And then you send in, you get a text message, and I'm wondering if you don't fat finger the emoji or something, and you text back with the emoji of the kissy face.
I did
that. Really bothers me.
I sent you that.
That really, it creeps me out. And I showed it to my wife, and she got nervous too.
Did she? I thought that would be.
I think everybody, no means no, Randy.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you take that to HR and say, look,
you know where our HR department is, Randy? It's down at the South Building.
It is. That's where
people go down to the South Building and they don't come back.
That's true. I guess maybe. Can we be serious for once in a while?
Well, I'm just telling you that this loving everybody thing.
I think it's a good thing.
I don't know. It's scaring.
There's needs to be more of it in this world we live in today, Bradley.
Okay.
And you need to follow the lead.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you have to text him kissing emojis.
I'm not texting him back kissing emojis.
Thanks, Miles.
Oh, okay. On my list, I can mark off my dig on Randy for the week.
Okay,
I just need to work one in for
Uh
Andrew.
huh.
And then my life will be complete for the day.
Did I tell you that we got a guest coming up in the third segment? Yeah.
Okay.
You'll like it.
I better get my digs in this section then.
Yeah. I don't know how you could possibly dig me any more than you already have or do on a daily basis.
All right.
But on a more serious note, let's go there just once.
Serious. All right, I'm serious.
There. Let's try this. What about the future of younger farmers? You know, I told you that statistic a while ago. Average farmer age I hear is 58 years old, and you was quick to point out that is my age also.
Mm-hmm.
So
do I get double points?
No,
for two
you
digs?
get none.
Okay.
What do you think? You know, what are we going to do?
Okay. Well, I
know
found
some young farmers.
I found this quote: "If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse."
Okay. I agree with that.
So you've got to decide how if you're going to be a farmer or decide, youth to be involved in farming, how are you going to do that? Because it's not just something you say, okay, I'm shutting the office door, I'm walking away from it, I'll pick it back up on Monday.
Right.
It's not like that. So we think like livestock. That's a 24/7 constant. I've got a pen of little calves up right now. That it doesn't
You're there
stop.
every day.
If something happens to them or they get out on the road, I've got to deal with that or get somebody over there to deal with it if I can't be there.
It still shouldn't stop you from going to church, but that's another subject I'll talk to you later about. Go ahead.
We're really going to go there, Andy. All right. So we talk about youth and getting them involved. So we take little calves and stuff pinned up. How many kids do 4-H and FFA?
See, I don't know. I think there's still quite a few.
And we're getting involved with the County Liners 4-H. My son, my oldest, is going to be a Clover kid this year.
Good.
He's just barely old enough to be able to do that. And, so they've got all sorts of different things you can do. And we're already doing the farmer's market stuff. So eventually there's like a vegetable deal thing you can do on that. So maybe that's something. But a lot of the people get into the shows showing cattle with 4-H.
Oh, yeah.
Well, once you show cattle and get that in your blood, it's I always say farming's like the mafia.
Yeah.
It's typically a family thing.
Yes.
And there's, when, death is a way out, or prison, or, you take and put a farmer in an office job, that might as well be prison. A cubicle versus a jail cell, there's not really that much difference there for a farmer.
That is exactly true.
But you start and you get youth involved in that. And, I'm not as young as some, but
You're still young.
I'm still young compared to most.
Yeah.
Well, I got to looking at this, and here in November, my dad will be gone for 10 years, Randy.
Mm-hmm. Really?
So, I mean, that's
that already quick.
Already quick. But, so that put me, I was in my low 20s, taking over the family farm and running all that by myself. And, one thing we got to think of, other people that want to get into that, well, how can they get started? Well, they need somebody to help them,
This day and time, unfortunately, they do.
Because you can't just go and rent 40 acres and start farming.
Yeah.
You've got to have somebody there to help you get started into this and work and put outside money into it to get it rolling. And one of the most important things I think that younger farmers can do is networking with other farmers, and they don't necessarily have to be in your same backyard.
Right. Like you do with your Ag Talk.
I've got a friend that I talk to almost daily. Like I run those DOT jokes by him this morning. I sent him to him in a text message.
Did he laugh at any of them?
Yes, he appreciated them.
There's one.
Okay. Well, but you bounce ideas around. When things may sound good in your head and you don't want to be embarrassed and say to your neighbor, hey, what do you think about da-da-da? Well, that's a stupid idea. And then he goes and tells somebody, well, did you see that stupid idea he had?
Yeah. We're not real encouraging of one another on the farm these days, are there?
No. And then, like when you work with somebody that, you bounce ideas back and forth when he's, 2 states away, well,
you're not so humiliated.
Well, and there's no competition that he's worried that he's going to come try to take your acres away from you.
Right.
Because he's not, it's not going to work.
Right.
That doesn't make sense, And the thing is, everybody excels at different stuff.
Sure.
Okay. I'm more into the soil and weed chemistry on how to control pig weeds and all that. Well, I quite frankly suck at mechanical work. So if I can pull ideas from somebody of this, like my buddy in Indiana there, he is like a Rolodex of corn hybrids.
Yeah.
Like of different brands and stuff. He just knows that because
that's his deal.
That was his deal. If he's got a fertilizer question, he'll call me. But when he's looked at different brands of corn and I'm like, well, what matches this? And he knows that. Well, that can benefit me. I'm like, well, this guy was planting this. And now he's looking at aggregate. What's a close number to that?
Right.
And he'll like, well, this, but it's a flex and this is a semi-fit, That's sort of the thing that you can help each other with.
Sure.
And, there's little groups and stuff. You can get a little email group growing, and like one guy buys in with a commodity trader. Well, he gets all those emails. Well, he'll forward that, and I'm like, I don't understand all this stuff. Delete. When I need money, I'll sell grain, okay?
There
Delete.
you go. You'll keep it simple.
I'll keep it simple, and sometimes you got to get away from the pack because it's, another good quote was, you're only going to be as good as the people you surround yourself with. So be brave enough to let those who weigh you down go.
Yeah, that's true.
So if somebody's a Debbie Downer, you don't want to.
You got to move on.
You'll be a Debbie Downer too. Move on to people that are going to be, you want people that aren't always.
There's many of those out there.
Looking at the bright side. Well, if something's bad, they need to trust you that, hey, this is a stupid idea or this is bad. They'll tell you that straight up. Because I've had some of those where I'm like, I was complaining about something and I was texting back and forth and he calls me and is like, you really think that's this? This is blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I was being a little out of line in my thinking that it shouldn't be like that.
Really? You confess that you didn't know that?
Well,
I am shocked. I'm shocked. Well, good
maybe
for you.
It's
there
the
is
heat
hope for
in
you.
this studio.
Oh, it's
where it's
fine.
like 105 in here.
I love it. It's good. It's chilly out.
Well, we know that Randy likes it warmer, so we have to, drink it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I'm the elder of the group.
And I'm just the dancing chicken.
You
here.
are. You're a dancing chicken.
Hey, Okay, it's kind of like this.
We do got young farmers in our area, though.
Right. And a community needs younger farmers to get started.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you get passionate about something, you'll find a way to make it work, and
we're going to start focusing on that too, That's a new thing coming up. Focus
You've
on
been
the
working
farmer.
on a farmer focus.
I have. When we talked with Miles last week, it was a good idea. In fact, it was Miles. And I think, and we've got one. We're going to talk about him a little bit in our last segment of the day. But, we're going to start doing that on a weekly basis. I bet you wish somebody to elect you.
Yeah.
Well, those are important things to do, because, you were talking about the future of farming. I mean, that encourages, don't you think? That encourages.
I think so.
Yeah.
I do, Miles. It absolutely encourages because we got to have that. I mean, every single thing, either directly or indirectly, is every occupation can be tied back to agriculture. Mm-hmm. It is that important. It goes back to the Garden of Eden, Bradley.
I know.
And a lot of times, it can be a thankless job. I mean, you know that, guys. I mean, better than anybody.
Sure. Oh, yeah. And so many people don't know where food comes from, in the big cities. I remember seeing that article that time. I was in Oklahoma City at the time, and they said, asking people, where does food come from? The grocery store. Well, where do they get theirs from? From a bigger store. So I guess that's got to change. But we'll do some changing here in a minute, Brad. We're going to have to take another break. We'll be right back with Bull Sessions, more of Bull Sessions on 680 KFEQ.